Ian, do you want to put up this? Oh, you're going to do the introduction first, right?
You should be able to see the slides, I think, because I did press the share.
Oh.
So I think it's time. If everyone, if you don't mind, I will start off the introduction. So my name is Ying. I'm from the University of Hong Kong. Today I will be joined by two of my colleagues from Shelley from James Cook University, Singapore, as well as Johnny from ESSEC to do a presentation on study in Asia with a focus specifically on Singapore and also Hong Kong. So throughout the session, if you have any questions, please do save them when you go visit our individual booth towards the end, because we are actually on a fairly short time. So without further ado, I would like to pass the time to Shelley from JCU to talk about Singapore and also her university. Shelley, please.
Thank you so much, Ing. Can I just, before I start, can I just make sure that everyone can see the slides in full screen? Yes? Okay, we're good. Oh, all right, so hi everybody, my name is Shelley and I represent James Cook University, and here I am. I'm at the Singapore campus of the university. Today I'm going to tell you a bit more about Singapore first at the beginning of the presentation, and slowly we'll go to JCU. After that, I'll pass over to my colleague Johnny, who's going to talk about ASEC. Okay, so let's firstly take a moment to think, right? When I mention the word Asia or Singapore, what comes to your mind? So do you think of endless blocks of shoebox units where people live? Or do you think of jam-packed shopping streets with noises of Asian languages in the background? And what do you think of just Singapore? What images or impressions would you picture in your mind for just Singapore? Would you, the next slide, yes, perfect. So would you think of a city-state that is filled with millionaires or billionaires from the movies? Or would you think of fast urbanization, all at the cost of sacrificing our environment? Okay, so now Singapore is actually a magical place. So from the next slide, we will see that, believe it or not, we've got close to 6 million people living in this island state of Singapore. But you will not actually feel always crowded. Actually, we are about the same size of New York City, and but you will need to just think of a greener, cleaner, warmer, and less dense version of NYC. Yes, I just mentioned that we are in the tropics as well, so it's summer all year round in here. And look, if you just look at the top left picture in this presentation, it's actually the new digital town located in the most east northern part of Singapore, and it's actually where I live. So it may not sound like it may actually sound like a suburb to you, because it's the most northeastern part of Singapore. But actually, it's not really, because Singapore is 100% urbanized. So there is no so-called suburbs in here. Each inch of land is actually gold. We don't just live on the surface of the ground as well. We actually build upwards, like skyscrapers or sky gardens, rooftop, everything. We also build downwards. So it's very common to see basement 3, 4, 5 in a building. And our underground system is literally all connected. You could actually walk from one metro station to another underground. And transportation here is just world class. It definitely justifies the #1 ranking for city infrastructure in the world. And did I mention that my house is just 20 minutes away from the central business district by car? But there's no need for you to own a car, really. You will fall in love with the public transportation system here in Singapore. Next slide, please. So Singapore is always placed very high in various rankings, as you may know. So for example, we rank the third in the world as the world's best cities to live in 2020, fifth as a global financial center this year, third on World's Safe Cities Index, and number one, or at least top places in the number of fully vaccinated people right now for COVID-19. And actually, I read once somewhere that we walk fastest in the world too. So all in all, it's a great place to live, work, and learn and grow. Despite the ancestors of Singaporeans, coming from various or different cultural roots, and that explains why we have four national languages, just like Switzerland. It does not actually make life more difficult for us to mix. In fact, we embrace diversity. Racial harmony is one of our core values. When you are in Singapore, you see Asia in a nutshell, or rather, you see the world in a nutshell. We also have lots of limitations too as a nation. For example, we have zero natural resources. Can you imagine just 30 years ago, you would not see anything, literally anything, in the top left picture in this presentation. So the whole place was just nothing, just seawater. We started reclaiming land and building the Marina area back in 1977. So it really shows that we plan for the future and we're living the future right now as well. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so there you go. A close-up look at the Marina Bay Area. So again, this is 30 years later today. 30 years ago, there was literally nothing in there. So actually, Singapore does not have a very, very long history like a country like France, but it does have a very, very humble beginning. It actually started as a fishing village about 200 years ago, and fast forward to today, it's the hub of the most thriving regions in the world, being ASEAN, Asia and Asia Pacific. Next slide, please. Okay, so today there are 37,000 international companies in Singapore, out of which 7,000 multinational companies with regional headquarters here. Back in 2015, there were already around 4,000 French companies present in Singapore. A significant part of this is due to Singapore's strategic location to regions in ASEAN. An interesting fact about the university I represent, actually, there are more than 75% of our entire student population is international. So that means we have more international students than local Singaporean students on campus. And what does all this mean to you, right? So as a student, you will have a global exposure. You are not just going to a country or a city to study, you are actually stepping into the real world. You will make so many new discoveries and foster friendships and new networks you can turn to for life. So the plan could be making Singapore your base to live and study and go on excursions around the region. You will have a lot of fun or even unforgettable experiences. Next slide, please. Okay, so you can see this is the map of the region. Singapore is actually very, very small. It's just a little red dot on the map, but its location is central to the Asia Pacific region. It's 2 hours to Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh City or Bali, 40 minutes by ferry to Indonesia, about 5 hours to Darwin, Australia. This excellent connectivity is one of the reasons why these 37,000 international companies actually set up their business here. And James Cook University as well. James Cook University is actually an Australian public university located in North Queensland, Australia. If you have heard of Great Barrier Reef, you perhaps know where we are located. I'll just speed up a bit because we're really behind time. So being a regional university in Australia, we actually have an international ambition. That is why we have set up our capital city campus in Singapore back in 2003, about 20 years ago. So our campus of JCU in Singapore is located very centrally. It's only about 12-minute drive from the CBD area. And having Australian DNA in our uni, it actually means that you can study in both Singapore and Australia, and you also can choose to go on to a third country for exchange. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, just a very quick look at our full-time lecturers. This is just some selective, lecturers pictures in here. So all of our full-time lecturers in JCU are PhD holders, or they have professorship. As you can see from their faces, they really come from a very diverse background. Okay, and next slide. So here you can see actually all the undergraduate programs we offer at JCU. Very comprehensive. Actually, back in Australia, we offer programs from dentistry all the way to zoology. You can choose literally anything. But here at the Singapore campus, we offer the programs that are very, very specialized, and we target the people, the interest from the ASEAN market. So again, if you ask me what to study for post-COVID-19 world, I would definitely say consider business, consider commerce, consider technology, data science, cybersecurity, IoT kind of studies, consider IT and psychology. Okay. So we're really running out of time. So if you want to know more, welcome to our virtual booth at James Cook University, and I'll show you my last slide. That is some students from mainly Europe enjoying their lives in Singapore and really, making their JCU experience count while they're here. Thanks again, everybody. I'll pass it on to Johnny.
Hey, thanks, Jerry. You have give a very nice and detailed introduction about Singapore to present all of our countries. So hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Johnny. So I'm the Assistant Director in Business Development from Isaiah Business School. I believe probably a majority of students are from France, so you will definitely know Isaiah better. So this is a French school. So today I'm presenting here is for our bachelor degree program. And I want to just show you about our Singapore campus, so which is you will have a better understanding what's the difference between Surgery campus and Singapore campus. And for these 4 years bachelor degrees, what you can be earned, what you can be learned from the next 4 years, and what's the possibility for you to come to Asia, come to Singapore to do the exchange and the different experience. Okay, let's move to the next page. Okay, so first of all, definitely, and everybody know Isaiah better in Europe, and they have a lot of business leaders, especially in the luxury industry. They have a lot of alumni graduate from Isaiah that work in the top management level. But the same as Singapore, same as APAC region. So we have a good alumni who complete the program. They have a move to Asia, and now they become business leader or leading the companies in APAC or in Asia. So here are some names. You can see the profile. They are very diverse. So not only for French people who work in Asia, also including the local people, Singaporeans, and also we have European people who move to Asia and manage a business in the APAC region. Okay, move to the next. Okay, I just highlight about the Isaiah Business School again. So we are the world school with the French roots, and according to the latest Financial Times ranking, we are number 6 best European business school. And also, as you know, we are the school have all the triple core accreditation from business school, which are the ASSB, AMBA, and the EQUIS. Yeah, let's move to the next. Okay, talking about the ranking. So as you know, Isaiah is more like a postgraduate school, and our Grand Echo program is very famous in Europe, along the world. So in France, we call this is Grand Echo program, and in international way, we call this is a Master in Management. So which is you can see all the programs ranking here, which including our Master in Management, Master in Finance, Master in Strategy Management, International Business, and also MBA program. So we have a Asia ranking, we have a global ranking, and also we have a French ranking. So because we are the business school, so in most of the university rankings, that is not there, but we are listed in the special subjects or probably the business schools ranking. So talking about the global BBA programs, we are the number 1 there in most of the French ranking as well. Okay, please move to next. Okay, so actually Shelly already gave us very nice introduction about Singapore. So as you already see, Singapore is a very nice multicultural, multinationality, and you will find a lot of possibility here. So I will just want to highlight that besides the Singapore government also give a lot of support for the foreigner university. So for example, for ISAC, this is also talking about the history why ISAC be Singapore. So back to the 2005, there is a global school project, global school house projects, which is the Singapore government invite some of the university come to Singapore to set up the campus. So ISAC is one of them. So we have a move to Singapore by 2005. So Singapore campus already successful running for 16 years. Rather than that, and also Singapore is best places for study, for living, for work, which I can see. So we have our country have most of the top rankings in terms of the level enrollments for living and for studies. And lots of the reason which I recommend for foreign students, you should consider to come to Singapore for study because you also can do the apprenticeship in Singapore as well. So during your study time, you can get a part-time job, and also you can work in when you have holidays, you can work as a full-time. When you complete the whole degree programs, doesn't matter is a bachelor degree or master degree, you will automatically to get 1 year long-term social security pass to stay in Singapore to look for a job. So which are this very important for foreigner students. So if you have an option, if you have an opinion to want to stay in Singapore for longer, for future careers or future business, you will consider for this option to come to Singapore to study. Okay, move to the next page. Okay, so this is our campus look like. It's a very nice building. It's nearby the north south part of Singapore. So which we are nearby INSEAD. Also we are nearby National University of Singapore. So this building is like a castle. So yearly we have almost 1,000 students will study here. Around 400 students study bachelor degree, and 600 students will study master and above level of the program. So this is how our campus in Singapore looks like. Okay, let's move. Okay, here I just to highlight how the bachelor degree programs look like. So we are the #1 BBA program in France, and this program is a 4 years degree program. And in between, because as a French system, you will definitely get an apprenticeship opportunity. So in total 4 years, you will get around 10 to 16 months global internship, not only in France and Singapore, also you can do the internship in overseas. Our school career services were able to help you to arrange it. And besides that, ISAC Business School have a partnership with more than 170 universities over the world, including Asia, including Hong Kong, Singapore, also China, South Korea, and Japan, which is you can do exchange degree and a double degree as well. And also our school, as you know, ISAC is a very international school. For some programs, the diversity rate is more than 60%. And also in Singapore, and the curriculum is more focused on Asia studies, talking about the geopolitics, talking about the doing business in Asia, and also talking about Asia cultures. And the good things also when you study in the Asia campus, you will have an option to take a third language subjects. So besides English and French, you can learn probably Chinese, South Korean language, or Japanese language if you want. And rather than that, which is you have an option to study your 4 years degree either in Singapore and France. You can do both. And the last portion, which is you will have a very good alumni to support your future careers. Okay, let's move to the next. Okay, so here are talking about the partner universities, which is for BBA programs. We have more than 117 connections over the world. And also including 10 universities for double degrees, including the top school from China, from Japan, from South Korea. And also in Singapore, we have an exchange program with the local university, which is National University of Singapore, Nanyang Technology University, and the Singapore Management University. So when you come to Singapore, you not only the option to study in ISAC, you also have option to study with the government university, also same as in the beginning, the introduction, you can study with the Australian University, with the Singapore campus, which is James Cook University. So you have a lot of option and the possibility happening in Singapore and in Asia. Okay, let's move to the next. Okay, I think probably the last few slides from me. Talking about the school fees for the current year, we are charging for 22,600 Singapore dollars as a yearly course fee, which is equivalent to euros around 13,750. And also we are offering the scholarship. So for IZBB program, we are offering two types of scholarship. Each type, they have a maximum cap at 25% of the total tuition fees, which is we only have two kind of scholarship based on your academic excellence and also based on your nationality, which is considered as a diversity scholarship. So when you submit applications, we will based on your profile, based on your GPA from your high school, and also based on your interview result to nominate the scholarship for you. So for the good student, you will get maximum 50% off of the tuition as a scholarship. Okay, let's move to the next. Okay, I think it's going to end of my presentation. So this is our contact. You can contact us through email, through phone. If you want to get more information, you can visit our website. Rather than that, I strongly recommend everybody should follow our social platform from LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. You will keep getting update and new information from the school and the program. Okay, I think I have finished my part, and so now it's turn to Ying. So let's move from Singapore to Hong Kong.
Yeah, we'll move to Hong Kong. Thank you, Shelley and Johnny, for the informative yet very concise sessions. So I want to talk a little bit about Hong Kong. Most of you probably already know about Hong Kong, the location in terms of where it's placed. Unlike Singapore, which usually most of you associate with the Asian focus, Hong Kong is actually, because of the location, has a very strong focus on businesses with China, and that's why there are a lot of international regional headquarters based in Hong Kong. And other than the skyline, which Hong Kong is known for, there are actually a few other good reasons why students should consider coming to the city. You have access to mountain beaches within a very short period of public transportation. There's a very prosperous job market, especially in the financial sector. Universities, the diversity and also the rankings of the university, as well as the international student population that are still pursuing the higher education in this part of the world. So now there are 8 publicly funded universities listed here. I represent the University of Hong Kong, which is at the bottom right corner. All 8 of these universities actually are offer all the courses in English as well. So this is just a very quick summary of the rankings. I'm going to skip through here. In terms of how much you expect to study, even though Hong Kong offers world-class education, in terms of the tuition fee, it's actually only a fraction of how much you're paying if you do consider going to the US or Canada, or even in certain parts of Europe, for example, the UK. And even though Hong Kong is well known for its very exorbitant, the rents. In terms of on-campus housing, most international students would have a priority to be placed in one of the dorms, which would significantly lower the cost as well. All the students will be considered automatically for scholarships based on their application, and they don't need to submit a separate application for that. So now very quickly to talk about HKU. HKU is the oldest institution in Hong Kong and also in this part of the world, in fact. 22nd in the world according to the latest QS rankings, 4th in Asia. And in terms of the research, HKU is a very research-driven, research-focused university. We are known for the professors' research output, as well as a very international professorate staff that are based in Hong Kong. So if you don't speak Chinese, that's not a problem at all. In fact, you don't even need it in order to apply to programs at HKU. HKU is also very proudly known for the employment rate. In the past 15 years, virtually 100% of graduates are employed before they graduate. The HKU programs, we offer 10 different faculties, ranging from arts, social sciences to, say, engineering, architecture, and programs like that. In total, offer approximately 100 majors and minors students can choose from. I want to especially highlight this part because actually you also do degree arrangement with some of the top universities in the world that include those in, say, for example, University of Cambridge, also with Sciences Po in France. So there are, if for French students, you are definitely welcome to consider applying to these dual degree programs where you will be spending usually 2 years in one location and 2 years in another. By the time you graduate, you get 2 degrees. So if you want to know more, because I won't be going into details here, do visit a booth later on, and then you can take a look at the myriad of opportunities that you have. Other than that, I also want to mention that students can apply with international qualification or with the French baccalaureate as well. With those qualifications, you'll be qualified to meet the admission standards. But for the exact details, do visit our website later on to get an idea of the requirements. So other than that, I think we have pretty much reached the end of the presentation. Only 1 minute over time. So I hope you do find the information useful for you to do your to start off your research. Do visit us at our booth. I believe the 3 of us will be stationed at our own corresponding booth to answer and address your questions. So I want to take this time again. Thank you all for joining. Also thank the co-presenters with us today. Thank you very much, and we hope that we will be able to see you later on at our booth.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Take care. See you at James Cook University's booth. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. Great job, everybody.